So I know exactly what you do when you watch all of these videos. You first want to see if the guy's all lean, muscular and buff. So let me show you. This is the sort of physique I have after around about 18 months of training, and by the way, I've never set foot into a gym actually. This is all home workouts, so I have like a pair of adjustable dumbbells and resistance bands. So I actually think this is pretty good progress given the short time I've been training and also like the equipment I have. But the two protein powders I've tried, and they were both mass gainers, were USN Hyperbolic mass and my wellness hard mass. I've been using the my wellness hard mass for like the past 7 months now, and I used the USN Hyperbolic mass for the first 8 months. I do personally prefer the my wellness one, but I do believe most of you watching this will actually be better off with the USN one. So let me dive into this video and give you my personal views on it. Right off the bat, if you care about your testosterone, I don't think you should be going for a mass gainer at all. And I do care about my testosterone, but I'll give you my reasons why I'm still using mass gainer in a bit. But if you are at a point where, like me, you're a bit skinny and you want to use a mass gainer, my wellness is the better one for your testosterone. But if you don't care much about your testosterone and like want the one that gives you better results, I do think USN has the slight upper hand, but even that, it's very slight. So that's just like the TLDR. But going into the meat of it now. Taste-wise, the My Wellness one tastes much better. The USN one, the taste got nauseating for me at least like after about 2 or 3 months. It really didn't go down well and it just tasted funny. I tried the chocolate one out of interest. I had tried the strawberry and the vanilla one in like small quantities, but none of them really worked for me. They just tasted bad. The My Wellness one though, to me tastes like almost like dark chocolate cake icing, which I mean, some of you might not like dark chocolate, but to me it tastes quite nice. It tastes like cocoa, basically. So it's quite a nice, tasty protein powder, but frankly, to me, the taste isn't of much significance. You care about the results. I'm sure you all care about the results. Look at the results, as if for most of you just going into the research of it, the USN one has slightly more protein per serving, like 2 grams more, and it has slightly more creatine as well. Both of these have creatine, by the way. So based on that, the raw numbers, you would expect the USN one to give you more gains. For me personally, the My Wellness one has like correlates with me getting more gains, but it is important to note that in that period I also started eating more protein in other meals. So it's hard to attribute it solely to the protein powder. On face value, it should go to USN, but in practice, it's probably not much of a difference. Why I say that's better for your testosterone though, and this is a big one. The USN has all of these artificial sweetnesses in it. You'll probably see it says in black or bold letters, all of that it's 97% lower in sugar than what it used to be and all of that stuff, which sounds good on face value, but then has something called, I'm probably butchering the name, but S-sulfame K. But that's one of the ingredients in it, and that's an artificial sweetener. Now, if you do any research on it, you'll see that that's associated with lowering your sperm counts, lowering all of like your basically stuff with your walls, getting straight into it, and that can in turn lower your testosterone. So do be a bit wary of that. It might not cause significant problems for you, but for me personally, it wasn't worth the risk, and I do want to have children one day, and it also is associated with infertility, like no joke. So for me, based on all of that, I stopped taking it. I think I already mentioned, but it was a bit nauseating for me as well. For me, another big problem with the USN one was it came like in this big plastic buckets, which that was fine, but in the plastic bucket was a plastic bag, and decanting from there all the time was very, very, very messy. In contrast, the the My Wellness hard mass, that comes in a nice foil bag. It comes like in a Ziploc bag, so you can seal it back up as well. So that it doesn't mess as much, and the USN also formed like dust clouds as you are like decanting it, whereas the My Wellness one doesn't. So based on all of that, I chose the My Wellness. Going back into the testosterone talk again though, foil doesn't really have an impact, positive or negative, on your testosterone. On the flip side, the plastic in which the USN was packaged, that does indeed lower your testosterone. So another reason why the My Wellness would increase your testosterone. Other than that, yeah, I think that's like the main basics. I'm going to tell you a bit more, but for anyone who like is in a rush, that's the main points. Now, going back to the talk of me saying that you shouldn't be using either of these if you care about your testosterone like 100% and you have no other priorities. The thing is, even the My Wellness one, even though it doesn't have a self-MK, it still does have artificial sweeteners, which do lower your testosterone a bit. What you want is also from the brand My Wellness, and full disclosure, I'm not affiliated with them. You'll probably see I'm a small YouTube channel still. So I don't have any sponsorship deals with it and probably won't. Arguably ever, it's not my style. But if you're looking at their range, they have one that is pure whey. If you compare that to USN, they have a whey supplement, but it has all these other junk in it that like has chocolate flavoring and all that, and that is going to lower your testosterone. Whereas if you look at My Wellness, they have pure whey where it's 100%. What you get in the packet is just whey. Now that is going to increase your testosterone, or at the very least keep it neutral compared to all like other protein bars. So do check that out if you don't like really need the extra mass. But let's assume if you clicked on this video where you're looking for mass gainer, you are looking for mass gainer because you're a bit leaner like me and you try and put on some weight. Other than that, yeah, small consideration is the USN is a bit harder to mix. But even that is like a small consideration, it's very marginal. Well, that's it. Check out the rest of my videos on my channel if you're into self-development. I actually am a self-development YouTuber. I don't really do much product reviews. This is, in fact, my first one. But with that said, bro, I'll see you in the next one to become a better man.